Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Ariel here. I just wanted to drop in here real quick and do a quick little video. I'm not showing myself because I'm just like I just don't want to be on camera right now. I just don't. But what I wanted to come on here and say is that for those of us who are doing our healing and who are trying to get to a better space, like where we're, because healing is an ongoing task. It will be ongoing for the rest of our lives, but it's making the conscious decision that I will choose to be more like my higher self rather than operate from my lower self or from my root-based movement. I just witnessed some interactions from a parent with a child, and I don't know if it's because I'm so hypersensitive to certain things, because I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm just in my feelings right now, but I witnessed the child just was berated with a bunch of 151 things why you get on my nerves and why you're not right. And what I think the problem was, but I don't know because I don't know the mother that was having the meltdown, or it seemed to be very normal to her and the baby and the child. So she had her little barrage, and I guess the child wasn't doing something that she wanted the child to do, and she's trying to get her laundry done. And let's be real, when you gotta wash at a public laundromat, it is not conducive to fun times. It's just not, and I can't even imagine having children in tow, how nerve-wracking that may be. So after she had her little tirade or whatever, and then she started folding her clothing, and the child, the little boy, started talking to me or whatever, and I was conversing with him, and I was like, well, trying to give him positive reinforcements, and just I don't know. I just thought maybe it's if you see better, you do better. You know what I mean? If you learn better, you do better. At least that's been my experience. So I was saying, I really love how you play with your cars, and then you made this whole city out of paper. He's like folding paper and making buildings and doing all this stuff. And I just found that to be so very, it takes a lot of ingenuity, and it takes a visionary to see a piece of paper and fold the piece of paper into a building, and then play, and then create this city of which you're playing with your cars. I just thought it was awesome, and I just told him, and he was laughing, and then his mother looked up, and he was like, oh my goodness. She's just kind of like, oh my goodness, he never does that. He never interacts with people like that. Oh my goodness, whatever. And she was like, what, are you a teacher? And I said, no, I'm not a teacher. It's just I've had years and years of experience of trying to keep kids occupied while I got my work done around the house or whatnot. And she was like, oh, how many children you have? And of course we did the small talk, and I told her how many kids I had. And then she was like, it's just so frustrating, when you're a single parent and you're trying to get these things done. So since she started talking to me and telling me these things, I started telling her some things that I found to be helpful when my children were that age. And I said, I don't know, because I'm an old head now. I don't know. It might work now. It may not. I don't know how the new age kids, get down. I don't know, what it takes to keep them engaged or whatnot. I said, but, this is the most important job you'll ever have to do, and you're doing a great job. But, you're doing a great job, and all you need is more ideas, and more ideas will help improve your job, your ability to perform your position. So before she left or whatever, we were all just laughing and talking, and she was asking me some things, or she was like, I don't know, it's so hard. I was like, a lot of stuff. I read a lot of, I would cry. First of all, honestly speaking, I would cry sometimes because I didn't have a template to go on, or the template that I had, I didn't want to use that template. I wanted to come up with a better way to take care of and to grow and nurture my babies. And hopefully I left her with that. Hopefully I inspired her to do something similar, but in her style, in her way that she does what she does. Because I had to express to her, a mother is one of the most important people in a child's life, because you can make this child extraordinary or afraid of everything or non-engaged. So basically, you create the way in which that child looks at the world. You really do. And I know for me, my father was the first man I fell in love with, not as far as to get to know and understand him and how he works. And I idolized my father. I really did. But at the same time, I knew I could interact with him and I could ask him questions. And that's the kind of thing my father fostered with me, is that I could come to him as long as it was respectful and in a respectful way. I could come to him and ask any question. So whenever I was in a state of in a state of confusion, let's just say, or questioning in my own mind of how things should or shouldn't be in certain instances and situations, I could ask my father that, and I could talk to my father. I mean, really talk to my father. I could say to him, I don't like the fact that we don't see each other every day, or I don't like the fact that you're not married to my mother, or I don't like the fact da-da-da-da. And it gave me a chance to bring up my issues with him as my father and kind of clear it away and tuck it away, either put it in the category that it needed to be in, or just totally understand what the truth was versus how I interpreted the actions or the non-actions of a parent. So, I would think, because they say psychologists say actually that the first man a girl actually falls for is her father, because she loves her father with all her heart and all her being. Because for me, my dad was a superhero. Nobody could not tell me that my dad could not beat up the world. In my little mind, my father was a superhero and he could do marvelous and wonderful things. So I cannot fathom that it'd be any different for a boy and his mother. That's going to be the first woman he actually learns to love. Not in a romantic way, but it's still an important relationship. It's not a romantic relationship. It's a son-mother, but it's very, 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 very important. And it sets him up throughout for the rest of his life to interact with women that same way. That could be in a healthy way or in an unhealthy way. So I guess what I'm saying is, looking at these situations, that was a child. But then when I think about like other male relationships, like with significant others, when I used to try and be loving to my ex, and he'd be like, well, I don't understand that, and that's not what I need. I need this, that, and the third. If I tried to, be supportive and say, well, baby, it's going to be okay. We're going to work it out. We're going to figure it out, da, 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 whatever. Well, that's not what I need right now. So but sometimes in some of these situations, not every woman is going to be on a path or journey to healing. So you might meet someone who is just not privy or not versed in the understanding of healing your inner child and making conscious choices of saying yes and being more like your higher self. So you may have to teach people as you go how to be a healthier version of themselves, or what a healthier version of themselves look like, or what a healthier version of themselves, how that would affect their life if they started it right now, today, and change pretty much the paradigm of one relationship or another. So what I'm saying is, we had to take the same approach like when we meet significant others, because these men, a lot of people aren't healing. A lot of us are not on our journey to healing. Let's be real. It's hard. I just had an episode the other night, Dark Night of the Soul. I thought these things would be over by now. I guess they're never over. I guess the intensity maybe is less than it was when I first started, but nevertheless, it was pretty deep. But I guess what I'm saying is, we have to take on the role sometimes of teacher, even though that's not what we came to a certain person, place, or thing for. Maybe we didn't come there for that, but maybe in that moment you were supposed to be there, and you were supposed to teach, no matter how small or how big, a little tidbit of information to help somebody improve upon their life. Can you imagine if you meet someone, like say if you're in a romantic relationship and you meet a man and he's not on his healing journey before you meet him, but during the course of you and he trying to facilitate a relationship, you teach him things about himself and you teach him things about what you're doing. And then he has a different approach after. If you go your separate ways, now he understands, okay, this is what healing my inner child means. This is what it looks like. This is how I do it. This is what, whatever, what have you. This is what it looks like. So once they have that asset, it can't be forgotten. I'm not saying that everybody's going to be on a healing journey just because you are, but it puts the thought, or it puts the seed in their head. Could you imagine a world where everybody did their healing work? Where everybody actively worked on themselves to make themselves better as a choice. That would be a pretty incredible world, I think. Anyways, just my little banter and rant. Ariel signing off. Y'all have a nice day. Bye-bye.